to get an approval. 3种药物现在在美国政府是绿色通道，就是说2年内就给你上市。第一个是 cancer，because we do not have very good drug for cancer at the moment. So if you develop a new drug for cancer, U.S. government will approve it. If you provide sufficient data, it's safe, they will approve it within 2 years. In the past, it's 10 to 13 years. Second drug is HIV. There's no cure for HIV yet. Third drug is psychiatry, 精神科用药. So to prevent suicide, use medication to treat your depression, and a tedious, long section of psychiatric consultation interview. 公消委每天练，就是台湾话讲练消委哈，就是精神科医师跟病人一直讲。It may not work, very very ineffective in my view. The only thing is that this patient has an insight, 他自己知道不对了。So acute trauma is easy to treat. We just help the patient to go through that period, and then he or she realize that that's not correct. Then he or she will recover. We use drug to help him or her go through the first weeks or months. If this patient has no insight, then there's no way we can get him back. He will find every means to commit suicide. 所以这个 post-traumatic syndrome now in terms of medicine, this is how we treat it. Unless you want to tie him up, 除非把他绑起来 otherwise we do not have very good medication. And usually we have someone to be with the patient. We use drug to make him calm. Usually is to suppress his emotion, and hopefully after interviews he or she will realize that it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Insight, a very strong insight. Otherwise there's no better ways.
You know, one time I saw one documentary, there's one great musician have a problem of addiction, and he saw all the best psychiatrists, everything, the medication and everything he tried, and he wants to overcome from this problem. He tried everything, and he had the motivation to doing it, and then nothing helped. Everything's failed. Then I think he met somebody which he felt he received unconditional love from this person. And the minute that he felt he felt this unconditional love from this person, all this addiction problem, he able to manage, overcome so easily. So I think the key things over here for mental state of this kind of depressions or suicidal or all that things, I think of course the counseling and that person to trying to kind of release the pressure, I think through the counseling, yes, I think can do it, but it is just temporary relief until this person doesn't feel loved. This have to be, we can give a care, we can do all this, but he or she really have to feel he's receiving some kind of unconditional love. So this is a once we able to somebody somehow due to karma or due to whatever situation, once they're able to meet these kind of circumstances and they feel this unconditional love, then I think that absolutely it can be, totally transformed. So I think that's it is many conditions together. Even somebody is willing to give unconditional love, but if that person is not open for that, I think lots of time positive, they are not opened, so much closed it up. So I think really helpful that is. I think opening compassion for yourself may have something, give a chance for that kind of people, So, I think now, again, that's kind of like all one area. And one area is, I think, really, I think it all comes down to the purpose of life, what that person feels, what is the purpose of life. Unconditional love is it's kind of like a shows the purpose of life. This is the one condition that gives you a purpose of life. This is one. So I think fundamentally how we can, maybe sometimes society says, no, you don't have any purpose, or like maybe kind of push further. But this is, I think, like what is the purpose of life? So how we can. The purpose of life is individual to individual different, I think, generally speaking. My purpose of life comes with my own karmic background. So I think I feel like what that person's passion and what that person, like basically, let me tell you one thing. I have one student and is my friend also, and then he have everything from the material point of view, everything. But he knows, I say, I know these are just temporary. And even he knows these doesn't give everything. The spiritual aspect, relation with the material things, he knows everything. But still he doesn't seize what is his purpose of life. That basically, anytime I go to see him, once a year, maybe twice a year, I see him, and his mantra is two things. I will hear all the time. I will hear two things from him again and again. One thing he say, "What is the purpose of life?" That's the one thing. Another thing, he says, "I'm so tired of doing the same thing again and again and again and again." The same thing again and again and again. I fight with my girlfriend, I broke, and then I do the same thing that again and again. So for me, basically I told him, "Do you like music?" And he said he liked piano. Okay, do piano. Go to play piano. Go do some music. I think one area to bringing the purpose of life, how are we going to introduce purpose of life? Telling him this will be good for you, this will be good for you, I think it's not going to work. I think we want to find where this individual person finds joy in the part of the life. Art, or something that something. So I think we need to
convert beta wave to alpha.
Yeah, like coming is this is a very creativity, patient way to looking. Then you have to basically when he's with me, he will be for 3 hours with me, and he will say the same thing for me. I have to be very patient to listen what he's saying. Basically, he's saying two things again and again, and then he'll be quite okay after that for maybe a couple weeks. So, from my side, during this short visit, that I able to give him full attention, full pay attentioning without any judging himself. So so again, this judging things place, I think, very much, judging by yourself. You're judging yourself is the worst part. And then judging another people, sometimes they are very close because they feel it's going to be judged. So there's things need to be opened, and there's things need to be, how you say, enjoyed, and then gradually leading to purpose of life. I think until that, I think it's not able to cure. And this whole thing's coming from the unconditional care and love. And so that kind of things.
这个翻译好长啊。那啊。上海吗？上海。仁波切说，他有一个朋友是他一开始讲是他有朋友是音乐家，他的音乐家他那个物质生活都很好，什么都不缺，但是他的时常不是是他朋友，不是音乐家，音乐家是后面他朋友，他时常问他的问题就是生命的意义是什么？第二个就是说他很厌倦人生一直在重复，他从高峰又到低峰，又重创高峰。那仁波切讲说，他在这之前，他有一个音乐家的朋友，也是遭遇到心里很不好非常的忧郁，非常的什么。他到后来只有一个办法，让他觉得从心情的谷底跑回来，那就是毫无条件的爱。他身边要碰到一个人，给他毫无条件的爱。然后他都讲到他一个朋友功成名就，但是一直怀疑人生的目标是什么，然后他已经不太想再重复的又赚钱，然后又赔钱，又赚钱，又成功又失败这样子。那仁波切告诉他说是要叫他多接触艺术，比如说你弹钢琴嘛，接触艺术。然后仁波切说，除了这个以外，那个人除了我们提供没有条件的爱去关心这个人以外，这个人本身也要 open minded， 他的心也要打开，要不然的话，别人的那个关心他进不来。所以他鼓励他去接触艺术。那如果这个人可能因为不同的 karma、不同的因缘、不同怎么样都没有办法接受的话，那就是很困难了。那必须要有这个因缘存在，然后我们能够给的就是没有条件，然后不要去 judge 这个人，不要去判断这个人。很怕，人拢惊红念了，人都很怕被人家念。你关心我，但是你又有一个条件，就是说你认为我哪里做的不对，就是 judge， 就是来判断他。那仁波切的意思是说，没有条件的爱就是不要去判断一个人。那我想到一句英文讲说 ，I just want to help, I don't want to judge。我只是想帮忙，我无意告诉你对还不对。请你告诉我你需要什么，你对也好，不对也好，我就帮你忙，这样，就是说不要加上一个评断的一个语言，或者是，即使你心里面这样想，他都会感受得到，就是没有条件的爱。仁波切觉得这个才是能够帮助一个人从心情的创伤以后回来的最好的途径。Unconditional love。